Harry Broadman is the former chief of staff at the President's Council of Economic Advisors. He joins us now live from Washington, D.C. Harry, thank you for your time. It seems to be one step forward, two steps back with trade talks between these two countries lately. Why is that?
Well, welcome to the trade negotiating world, and particularly with the two very large economies of the world. And China obviously has a very different political system, state-centered economy, whereas we have more or less a free enterprise system. There's always been friction, and the question is, who can be smart to others understand what the other side is thinking ahead of them. And doesn't look like Mr. Trump is able to do that. Anyone who knows China very well knows that they will probably try to take pot shots to see the strength of the other partner. And I think that's in part what we're seeing here.
Well, you make that point. The president said that the export controls on rare earth minerals was unexpected, so he obviously didn't see that coming. Why is China tightening those up?
I think they're trying to, I really do think, well, first of all, they have an interest in dominating the market in rare earths, but I think they're also trying to exercise their market power relative to the U.S. and sort of put Trump on his back footing, particularly if this meeting were to have taken place. And I think they want to see how Trump will respond to this. And I think very predictably, Trump has said, well, we're going to raise tariffs on you, which, as the Chinese know, and anyone who understands how the U.S. economy works knows, that's going to be a self-inflicted wound on the U.S. economy. So they've really put Mr. Trump into a corner, and I do think it's not by chance that this is happening.
I mean, we're already seeing a bit of those wounds that you mentioned. This had a swift and dramatic impact in the markets. The possibility of 100% tariffs aside, and what that costs the American consumer, how much does this instability hurt them?
No, I mean, frankly, it's going to hurt both economies, but I do think they knew quite well, I think, that this would be Mr. Trump's response. And, and the notion that he's going to now slap on very high tariffs also, frankly, will backfire on him, because what that will do is, create job losses and hamper our industries who rely so heavily on Chinese exports. So this is a very tough game in a game theoretic sense. It's not fun. It's a real game between two very large powers who have very different views of the world. I also think, in some sense, very perversely perhaps, that if this trade war really balloons further and more tariffs are placed on the U.S. economy by Mr. Trump, that could very much tip us into a recession. Now, that's not good news for any president, but let me be cynical about it for a second. Mr. Trump, as we know, is very keen for the Fed to lower interest rates. If the economy softens as a result of his own tariff policy, whether it's because of China or not, this could create the opportunity for the Fed to say, we now need to lower interest rates, not from an inflation perspective, but from a job-saving perspective. And so, again, this is a very cynical interpretation, but I think one has to think about how Mr. Trump operates, and that's probably part of his thinking in the back of his mind.
All right, Harry Broadman, thank you so much for joining us here on Al Jazeera.
Thank you.